Alright, our next video is slopes of lines. You should have a foldable already made. I'm not gonna be showing my foldable on here, but we already have stuff glued in the foldable and all that, so you need to follow along to what I'm saying so you can make sure that you do the foldable correctly. So on the back of the cover page, you had 4 graphs, alright? You had 4 graphs on the back of the cover page. Alright, so we are going to write on the first graph. Okay. On the first graph, on the right-hand side of it, what I want you to write is positive slope. And when it's a positive slope, your line should always be increasing. Okay. And the equation we're going to graph on our graph is y equals 2x plus 2. Alright, so on your graph, so this is all on the right-hand side of your graph. Now we're going to go to the graph. Since our equation is 2x plus 2, the 2 is our y-intercept, so we're going to go to the y-axis and go to 2 and make a point. And then the slope is also 2, so it's 2 over 1. So we're going to go up 2 over 1 and make a point. Up 2 over 1 and make a point. When you're making graphs for me, I need you to always make me 3 points so I can know exactly what you were doing. Okay? So it should look something like that. Okay, now we're going to go to the graph right underneath that first one. And this is what you're going to write on the side. And if it's a negative slope, the line will be decreasing. And the equation we're going to do is y equals negative 2x plus 2. So we're going to go to the y-axis and make a dot at 2. And since it's negative 2 over 1 for our slope, we will go down 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1. Remember I said make me 3 points. And it should look something like that. Okay, for the next one, we're going to go back to the top row. And we're going to, on the right-hand side of that graph, you're going to write zero slope. And the line that we are going to graph is y equals 2. And when it's a zero slope, it's always going to be a horizontal line. And it should always be y equals some number. Y equals a constant, okay? Alright, so we're going to do y equals 2, so that means we're going to go to the y-axis and go to 2. And it will go straight across. Because y needs to equal 2 no matter what point you are on. Here, this is 1, 2, y equals 2. This is 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, okay? Y always equals 2. Okay, we're going to go to the last graph. And on the side, you're going to write undefined slope. And we're going to do x equals 2. And this one is always going to be a vertical line. And it should be x equals a constant. Okay, x equals a number. So since we're doing x equals 2, we're going to go to the x-axis and go to 2. And make a vertical line. It should be a little straighter than that. But that's x equals 2. Okay, on the other side, on the next page, okay, I did make you divide it something like this. So we're writing on the left-hand side. I want you to write slope is rate of change. It's how fast something is changing. Either it's decreasing or increasing. Okay. Just how fast it's changing. Okay. Alright, so the formula for slope, and this should all be reviewed, guys. This should all be reviewed. Okay, so for slope, the formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The change of y over the change of x. Okay? Alright, we're going to do an example. Alright, so the example we're going to do, it says find the slope of a line that goes through 6. It goes through negative 6, 2, and 3, 6. So the first step is you're going to label your points. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. And so then all we're going to do is plug into this formula up here. Okay? Alright, so y2 was 6 minus y1, which was 2, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 6. And then we're going to go straight across. So we have 6 minus 2 on the top, so that is 4. And then 3 minus negative 6, so both of these change, so that's 9. And I can't reduce 4 over 9, so that would be my final answer. Okay, on the other side, we have 2 things that we glued in there. Okay, so really, we're just gonna, I'm not gonna write all the part that you already have on your paper. We're just gonna convert from standard form to slope-intercept form, and it was 2x plus 3y equals 6. So underneath it, that's what you're gonna write our steps out. Okay. So step 1 says move the x's. So I have a positive 2x, so to move that to the other side, I'm going to have to subtract 2x on both sides. And I'll be left with 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. And then it says divide everything by the number in front of y. So the number in front of y is 3, so I'm going to divide everything by 3. So I'll be left with y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. And then that will be my answer. So I do want to add something to the top part. We're going to write, okay, so yeah, we're going to add this to the top. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to do the other one, and it says convert from slope-intercept form to standard form. That one had y equals 1/4 x plus 5. Alright, so the steps say move the x's. So I have positive 1/4 y, so I'm going to subtract 1/4 x on both sides. So I'll be left with negative 1/4 x plus y equals 5. Second step says if x is a fraction, multiply everything by the denominator, okay, but the negative denominator. So I have a fraction in front of x, so I'm going to multiply everything by negative 4. So that means this part right here would cancel. So I'm left with x minus 4y equals negative 20. And then that would be my final answer.